Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody joining me today. Today is Tuesday once again, and it's time for the Psychic Side here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network. We're still the number one psychic radio network on Earth, and we're delighted to have you here. And if you're watching on Moonstruck TV, then welcome as well. So today I am really pleased to just have a show with just you and me. Okay, we don't no guests today, but we'll have more guests here coming up pretty soon. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about angels and archangels specifically, and one in particular. And I'm kind of wearing a color that kind of indicates who that might be. So I want to let you know that we are going to be at the Holistic Festival this weekend in Plano, Texas. It's going to be at the Los Rios Nature Preserve. And we were there earlier this year, and we're back for a second go round at the marketplace event that they have there. So today we're going to be taking a couple of callers, and we want to be able to give you a couple of psychic readings. But as I was mentioning to you, we're going to be talking about angels. Oh, before I forget, we're going to have a presidential debate here coming up, and I don't want to get too much into politics, but I always have something to say about astrology, and I talked a lot about Saturn being Pisces and affecting all of the mutable signs in the zodiac, the Geminis, the Virgos, the Sagittarians, and of course the Pisceans. And in this particular presidential election, we're really, really heavy on people on the Republican side, for people who are in the mutable camp. And this Republican debate is going to be an excellent opportunity for everyone to see how people use energy. So it's not about endorsing a candidate or anything. So it just sounds like we're going to have someone emerge who is going to be a mutable sign against the Scorpio president, who is Joe Biden. Now, Americans like to elect Scorpios and Aquarians to the presidency, or people who are Aquarian-like. So we'll get into that in just a few minutes here. Well, maybe I don't want to get too much into it, but I will tell you this. Let me just go over who those people are so that you know. So you have Asa Hutchinson, who is a Sagittarius. Chris Christie is a Virgo. You have Donald Trump, who's not going to be at the debate. He's a Gemini. Mike Pence is also a Gemini. You have Ron DeSantis, who is a Virgo. Tim Scott is a Virgo. And we have two outliers. We have Nikki Haley, who's a Capricorn, but her moon is in Pisces. And we have Vivek Ramaswamy, who is really an interesting character because he's a Leo and he has a Taurus moon. So that's interesting. And Joe Biden is a Scorpio with a Taurus moon. So that's an interesting matchup right there. But with that, I'm going to stop talking about politics, and I'm going to let you decide. You tell me who did the best job, because these are all men and women that are being pushed to get into something, to make a difference, and it's interesting to see how they use energy, how they figure it out, and how they are able to persuade the public to their point of view. So I know we have a guest. We have a caller that's trying to reach us from, I believe, Great Britain. What's that? Eileen from Wales. Okay, I have some friends in Wales. So Eileen, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you today?
I'm all right, thanks.
You're all right. Okay, it feels like you've had some sadness around you. Have you had a loss around you?
Not recently.
Okay. Is there something going on in a relationship for around you at the moment?
No,
Hmm?
not that
Pardon me?
not that I can think of.
Okay. Do you have a question for me today?
Um, just wanted to know what you could see around my current situation.
Okay, your current situation. That's why it feels like there's movement around you, whether you're moving or and you said there's nothing going on in a relationship, but it feels like there's something a break or there's something going on with a man. Is that not correct?
I did have an argument with my brother.
With your brother? Okay. Now, are you
hmm
planning to move? Are you getting ready to change residences?
I want to move, but there's nothing set in stone yet.
Nothing set in stone. It looks like you're going to make that happen. I don't know exactly how you're going to do that just yet, but it feels like something's going to come along to where there's going to be an opportunity to make a move, and it feels like it may not be as smooth as you would like it to be, but I feel like when you do move, you're going to be in a better place. I don't know if
hmm
there's been some financial difficulties around you, but it feels like there could be a little bit of that as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope that helps. It does look like I say, you're going to move. I feel like your relationship with your brother is going to get better. I don't know, I feel like he wants to do the right thing by you, but it's something that two of you are going to have to sort out when you have a little bit calmer tempers. Okay.
hmm Yeah, brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Okay. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the archangels because the archangels are such an interesting group, and when what you're going to find out is that we really learn about the archangels and well actually all the angels from scripture and from people's personal experiences, but one of the archangels, Gabriel, is known as the messenger from God. He is generally the one that kind of wears yellow or kind of this color that I'm wearing today, and since I'm being a messenger I thought that I'd wear this color. But Gabriel is the one who announced to Mary that she was going to be the mother of Christ, and he was the one that seems to always get the terrible task of bringing people momentous news, and it's kind of unclear if Gabriel was the one who spoke to Joseph when he was trying to decide in a dream whether he was going to stay with Mary, but it most likely was him who did that as well. And so, if you ever have Gabriel in your life, you may notice him or this angel by the fact that he comes in kind of a yellow hue, and his energy is always about optimism. It's always about being very spiritual and having basically the listening to the words of God and being able to communicate them the way that he wants them communicated. And then, of course, you always hear about Gabriel blowing his horn. And so Gabriel is depicted by an angel with a horn. And it's fascinating to understand about him and the energy that he has because he's that communicator. He would be associated with the sign of Gemini, which is what we've been talking a little bit about today, being a mutable sign. That entity that is able to speak to just about anyone in a way that they would understand or a way that they would take. And an angel that is good for us to have around us if we're having some communication issues. So with that, I'm going to go to the next caller, and we'll talk some more about Gabriel in just a moment. So I think our next caller is from Indiana. I didn't get that person's name. D. Okay. D, are you still there? We lost D. Okay, so maybe we'll get D back. Something in communication. Okay, we have to ask Gabriel to give us a hand here because we're in this medium of the internet that we're working with today. But it's fascinating to deal with the angels, and one of the things that I wanted to tell you a little bit about was there's a relationship between the archangels and cherub angels. And I don't know if I mentioned cherub angels to you in the past, but I was just reading a little bit more about Gabriel, and he is known also as a special cherub angel. Well, the cherub angels are angels of knowledge and wisdom, and they are known to have four heads. Okay, and these heads are Taurus, they're Leo, they are Scorpio, which is depicted as an eagle, and then you have Aquarius, and these so happen to be the four fixed signs of the zodiac. So, the zodiac has been with us for, since the beginning of time, and mankind used it to its advantage and used it as the Google of the ancient world. And so it's not surprising that some way or another the zodiac has delved into the angelic realm. And when you're dealing with the fixed signs are those signs that have, they're definite opinions. The Taurus is about value and about being firm with not only the value of material objects, but their personal values. And then you have the Leo, which is the regal one, the one that is magnanimous, the one, the overseer, the one that tries to dole out justice equally and evenly. And then you have the Scorpio, which is the passion, the depth, the deep soul energy, and then you have the Aquarian, which is the intellectual, the genius, the inventive mind, and also the revolutionary. They're known to be revolutionaries, and so when you put that with the energy of Gabriel, then you have a very powerful individual that is trying to get a message across. And this is the type of individual that you'd want to get a message across, because they're going to do it. Because once a fixed sign gets it in their mind that they're going to get something done, they're going to get there. They're going to climb that mountain, or they're going to stay put until the world comes to them. But whatever it is, once they make their mind up, it's fixed. It's not going to change. And there's always been an interesting relationship between Gabriel and the Virgin Mary, and it's something that I think you ought to look up if you can, because you'll find that relationship was controversial for a long time, and I'll get to that after I speak to our next caller. So I think we have Susie in Ontario. Is that right? Susie?
It's Suzette. Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Oh, sorry. Okay. Suzette. Okay. How are you
It's
today?
okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. So have you been listening to the program? No?
Pardon?
Have you been listening to the
Oh, no.
program? You have
Oh,
not?
yes, off and on.
Off and on. Okay. Okay. So, Suzette, have you just recently changed jobs, or you go when you work, do you go from one place to the next?
Right now, no, I don't work, but I do take my kid everywhere for
Okay.
baseball.
So for baseball, so you're a shuttle. Does that make sense?
It is, yes.
Okay. So your work is being a mom. That's
True.
a pretty big job, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So that's what
it is. I was hoping to
okay.
have a job.
Okay. What is your birth sign?
It's Sagittarius.
You're
It's kind of on
Sagittarius.
the day that it switches over. I'm December 21st.
Oh, so you're in between You're on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn.
Capricorn. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, right now it feels like your hands are full being a mom. I feel like if you put your mind to it, you can find a job. I'm not sure you want a job that's going to take too much time away from your kids. So, do you want a full-time job or a part-time job?
I was hoping to get a job at a school as an EA and then go back to school to do a Pilates instructor.
Okay. Well, that would be a good goal to have because you can incorporate your kids because it just feels like whatever you do, you're going to have your kids in mind. Because I don't think that you would get a job that would preclude you from being able to take your kids to school or baseball practice or whatever. So I think that that's a good path for you to take. Now, school is just starting, so if you're going to get one of those jobs, you need to act on it pretty quickly. Because if you don't get a paying job, I think you'll have to do a volunteer job. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm okay.
Okay. But right now, I just feel like your main focus in your life is your kids, and I don't see that changing. So, also, this job may not pay a lot, but it's going to be more about the fulfillment than the monetary value of it. Okay.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you. You take care, and good luck with your kids.
Okay. Thank you. You
Okay.
too.
All right.
Have a great day.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay. So, so we were talking a little bit about Gabriel and his relationship with Mary. Um, there, in medieval times, it was often revealed or often depicted as uh, pictures with Gabriel, and Gabriel was getting ready to announce the news that Mary was going to be the mother of God. And in many of the pictures that you'll see Mary is either reading a book or she is painting or something. And of course, Mary in those times was born into a very special class of people, and women back in those days were generally not allowed to learn to read, or they weren't allowed to do much. But she was in a class of women that was, because they were meant to be with leaders, and they were meant to be people that had to be able to refined, and they had to be people that could keep up with the men, and so they would teach these women how to read, and they would teach these women how to be a part of the greater society. At least this is what my research has shown. So if somebody has another viewpoint, then that's fine. But this is what has come up for me. And so when you see Gabriel with Mary, you may see her as being fully immersed in another task, and Gabriel was there to interrupt her, and she basically would hold her hand up and say, "Wait a minute," and that was very controversial at the time because Mary was telling the angel of God that she was too busy to talk to him, and it's kind of funny in a way to me, but it was just indicative of Mary's personality, and so some may be able to speculate that as a bride, she wasn't as welcoming to a potential suitor because she was so headstrong. And so, therefore, they needed an older man. They needed a man that that would be willing to put up with Mary's personality. So, because she was in some ways, the original feminist, and it's very interesting that she would hold her finger up and say, "Wait a minute, I'm not ready. Let me finish this chapter, or let me just finish this one little brushstroke," uh, because she had her own ideas of what she wanted to get done. But Gabriel was patient, and he was there to wait for her to finish. And when he did finish, he was there he let her know who she was going to be the mother of. So it's fascinating to see that. But Gabriel is one of the four original archangels, and a very important one, because Gabriel does come to us in our lives, and sometimes we hear a message from the divine, and it can be from God, but it can also be very much from Gabriel. So when you hear the voice of the divine around you, you know it. You know it, and we have to pay attention to that, because it can be life altering. A lot of people don't want to pay attention to the angels, and they don't want to pay attention to those things that come from beyond the physical. But it's important that we do that, because they come to us in the most awkward times. Just like with Mary, we might be busy doing something else, and then suddenly we get this voice from the divine, the voice from an angel to speak to us. And many times we don't stop to pay attention because we dismiss it. And I may have said this before: psychic energy or psychic impressions. And this, in this particular case, Gabriel speaking to us would be a psychic impression. So many times we dismiss it, and it's the easiest type of thing to dismiss, because it is so unusual. We just we dismiss it, and it's not until we understand that when something happens, that's when we say, "Aha!" There was something to that, and it's something that we need to pay attention in our lives, because this clairaudient moment, when we hear the voice of God, or we hear the voice of an angel, it can be very moving, and it can help us with answers. It's just like with the two people that we did readings for today. If they just listen, they listen to their guides and listen to Archangel Gabriel, well, they may be able to get the exact answer that they want, because what I'm doing is I'm listening to my guides to help them along the way. I'm listening to whatever answer comes to me from my guides, or maybe it is Gabriel that's helping me. But I have a set of guides that I work with, and they don't let me down. They're always there for me, and I've made a deal with them. I'll continue this work as long as they continue to help me, and so they've done that for me all these years. So these are things that I hope that you'll pay attention to. And if I didn't mention it earlier, tonight is the night when I start my Psychic Journeys workshops for people who are wanting to learn to become psychic, learn to do what I do. And it's not too late to sign up. If you want to sign up on the website, you can do so. It's $149 for all 6 classes. You will need to purchase my book, Soul Exercises for the Open Mind. It's a psychic development workbook. It's something it's my bestseller, actually, of all my books. And it's something I'm quite proud of. It's won a couple of awards, an international award, and award in the best books, finalist in the best books category. So it's good to have as a reference. It's a workbook. It's going to make you think about life and things a little bit differently. And I hope that if you don't take the class, that you'll at least buy that book, because it will help you learn about yourself and help you develop your skills. It's good to have a mentor like myself, or another psychic that you trust, to be there for you, to help work with you. But they will help you with your own abilities. When we first started the show way back in January, we started talking about that. We started talking about my book, Soul Exercises for the Open Mind. And it comes back again today, because of the second half of the year, I'm introducing those classes again. And I'm doing them online, so anywhere in the world you can join us. And you can get the book anywhere in the world, because Amazon is everywhere. So you can do that too. So with that, we're going to start to talk to you a little bit more about the archangels next week. We're going to have a guest, but after that, we're going to kind of get back to our regular programming. I want to talk to you a little bit about Uriel and Archangel Michael, and I have to talk a little bit about Lucifer too, because he was an archangel at one time, And I know it's a controversial subject, but we hope that we can talk about this particular angel in a way that is going to be acceptable to you, and a way that is going to be meaningful as well. So we are here today to just listen to what you have to say, and I hope that you'll contact me on my on Facebook. I have my like page, John Capello Psychic, and then I have a couple of other pages too. I have my Angel Pop series, which is the the site for all of my angel books with children. So that's good as well. I don't want to forget our sponsor. Our sponsor is Miracles of Joy, and they are in Lewisville, Texas. They have their website, their bookstore online, and they give a great discount of several percent when you purchase something on their website. So next week, like I say, we're going to have our guest, Shannon Ogg. He's a psychic medium from Houston, a very interesting person. He's had such a colorful life. He's served a couple of tours of duty with the United States military. I hope he'll tell us a little bit about that. He's very well known now in the Houston area, also in the Austin area. So it's going to be good to hear from him and get his take on a few things that he can share with us. So here we are again, and talking about several metaphysical ideas, and we want you to practice your psychic ability. Practice it as much as you can. And one of the things that I'm going to be telling my students tonight, is that when you're learning your psychic abilities, you not only have to give readings, but you need to receive readings as well, and get into that habit of giving and receiving, because that's how you learn how the mechanics work with you and how the mechanics work with other people. So I want you to remember that, because if you don't, you get too much into your ego, and you think you're always right, but it's a matter of tweaking things and getting things to work the way that they should, and honing in on them in the best way that you can. And look up Archangel Gabriel, because you'll find that he has a lot of really fascinating things about him that you can relate to. He might be considered the first transgender individual, because he had the body of a man and the voice of a woman. So that's very, very interesting as well. So I know we've jumped around a little bit today, but we will continue talking about the angels and psychic development and astrology. And be sure to watch the election debate this week. So that's it for us here on the Psychic Side. I'm John Capello, and we'll see you next week. Take care.